In the 5 months of fighting for Bakhmut, according to the White House, Russia lost 100,000 soldiers, of which 80,000 were wounded and 20,000 were killed. This is more than in the 2 Chechen wars. In addition, the army of the aggressor country could not achieve a single strategic goal on the battlefield.
Last December, Russia initiated a broad offensive across multiple lines of advance, including toward Vuhledar, Avdiivka, Bakhmut and Kremlin. Most of these efforts stalled and failed. Russia has been unable to seize any strategically significant territory. Russia has exhausted its military stockpiles and its armed forces. John Kirby, U.S. National Security Council Strategic Communications Coordinator, during the briefing.
At the same time, allies and experts know the significant successes of the armed forces of Ukraine and say that the Russian command is not able to fulfill the tasks assigned to it.
Russia showed that it cannot wage war outside its territory. The war in Syria was partially successful. The war in Ukraine failed. Russia showed that it cannot be a guarantor of security for its allies. Therefore, the Collective Security Treaty Organization is falling apart. Most Russians already understand that this war was unfair, and they would like the war to end. But at the same time, Russians do not want defeat, and therefore the Kremlin faces a big challenge to demonstrate any result to the Russian people as a victory.
Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksii Reznikov noted that the Kremlin is already looking for options to justify another success of the Ukrainian army. According to him, Russia may be preparing for a new so-called goodwill gesture under the pretext of a man-made disaster on the territory of its country.
In the event of another success of the Ukrainian army, which is absolutely expected for them too, you need to understand how to sell it inside yourself, how to serve it to the people. They also had overheated expectations. Kyiv in 3 days and the so-called special military operation in 3 weeks. And although propaganda in the Russian Federation works perfectly, it is getting more and more difficult every time. Oleksii Reznikov, Minister of Defense of Ukraine, in an interview with Interfax Ukraine.
Experts believe that this year the Russian generals have nothing to show off for the so-called sacred date May 9th, and the real reason why holiday parades were cancelled in Russia is the fear of any mass gathering of people.
What if someone unfolds anti-war slogans? It was even impossible to celebrate May 1st, because in the slogan "Peace, Labor, May", peace is already a taboo word for Russia. Therefore, probably the main reason for cancelling the parade on May 9th is still fear of the authorities before the people. And of course, the basic myth that Russia is a victorious people has been brought down, because it lost this war. In this war it shells Ukrainian cities. It behaves like a fascist, victory over which they have been celebrating all these years.
Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that the success of a future Ukrainian offensive could advance negotiations that could build a just peace. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Yulia Bil, UATV News.